Okay, thank you. I'd really love you to all join me to give a huge round of applause to Jamie Close.
Everyone give a big round of applause for Rachel. This is a rated PG show there, buddy. Leave a shirt on for now, right? The tantra and the breathing comes later.
The group sets this
Okay, so everything's energy. Vibrating at a different frequency. Giving it a different appearance. Water's a conductor. Majority of our body needs to be, or all of our body needs to be hydrated, so we can flow that energy, that life force through our system. But if we want that energy to be flowing through our life force, the life force flowing through our body, we need to be grounded. So who's sort of up to speed with cars? Who knows a little bit about cars? Okay, so what two poles do we have on a battery, a car battery?
Negative.
Positive and negative.
Positive and negative.
Negative, positive.
Okay, so where does the positive attach to in the car?
The red.
Okay, so the positive attaches to the starter motor. And the negative, the blue one, if you colour coding, attaches to where?
The body.
The body, the vehicle, the body. So at what? Earth's. Awesome. We're a battery, we're the same. Like Rachel beautifully shared about the chakras, the different energy centers we have in our body. You know, I'm an energetic healer and holistic coach, so I specifically channel energy to open the chakras and to clear the energetic blocks in your vehicle, and then I get you grounded and open your posture so you can flow that energy at a very high vibration. And then we need to look at your nutrition, and we need to look at nutrition and cleansing of the body, but not just through using certain foods and herbs to give you the nutrition and to cleanse out the toxins. We need to go in and actually clear out the suppressed energy, the suppressed emotions in our system. We need to cleanse them out. And when I say need, if you really want to expand yourself and manifest what you want in your life, you can't afford to be stuffing down the emotions unconsciously. So another car question, I'm a bit of a petrol head, so I'll be using a few of these analogies tonight. So in a car, in the suspension, you have a spring. You never want to know what a spring looks like, but if you can imagine a real thick spring about this tall. Now, when we go through our life and we have an experience, if we don't get to speak our truth in that moment and we sort of bite our tongue, what do you think we do to that spring representing our emotions?
Compress it.
That's right. And then we have another shitty experience. Compress. And just imagine if you've got a really thick coil spring, so you've got some really powerful emotions in your system, and you're pushing it down unconsciously, and it's vibrating in your body. How much life force is that going to take to hold that down? A lot or less? A lot. And then people are drinking lots of coffee and energy drinks and not drinking enough fresh spring water, so they're not hydrated, and they wonder why they've got no energy. Because it's costing them unconsciously all this energy to hold this emotion down, and they're in their head. Emails, mobile phones, talking, Facebook, crack book as it's called. Everyone's in their head. So unconsciously, we've got all this energy and emotion stuffed down in our system. We're dehydrated and we're ungrounded because we're wearing shitty shoes like this. I rode the Harley here, so I had to wear some solid boots. Barefoot or hemp sandals weren't going to cut it. So this is the thing, we're ungrounded, we're electrical beings, we're not hydrated, our chakras are shut down due to the emotional stuff that we're holding on to. It's pretty clear to see why we don't have any energy. When there's this unlimited source of energy flowing around us and in, through and around us in every moment. And then, Rachel beautifully spoke about the body. and how we hold different emotions in part of the body. And we can look at someone's body and we can give them a reading. And we learned this in body psychotherapy. So we can look at someone's posture and look at what chakra is shut down. And there's like 5 character structures. And once again, I'm just channeling this. I had no idea. It's not written down on my sheet. I was going to talk about this. So we've got 5 character structures in body psychotherapy. So we've got the schizoid, the masochistic, the rigid, the oral, and the psychopathic. And we've all got all 5, but we've got 2 predominant ones in our system that are represented in certain ways in our body. And I'm not going to go too in depth about this, but what that represents, that at a certain period of it in our life, and when you're in your mother's womb, when the soul enters, around about 3 months, they say, anything your mother feels or experiences, so do you. So before you even come out of that divine passage, you're wounded and you're conditioned. Because whatever your mother felt while you were in there, so did you. And that's more the schizoid wound. That was one of my character structures. Using me as an example, it's just a bit easier. I won't get into shit about saying anyone's name that I shouldn't. You can laugh, that was funny. Okay, so the two main character structures I had out of the 5 was the schizoid and then the psychopath. So for me in my body, after all, I got bullied heavily when I was in primary school. My mother, God love her, was so controlling in a loving way when I was little. She took my power away. So when I was at school, the other boys saw me weaker energetically. And they had all their rage and they had all their stuff that going on from their childhood. So they saw me weak energetically. So they decided to pick on me. But I consciously co-created that to help me open my posture to step into my power and fight back. But I was too scared shitless because my posture... Okay, all right. So based on what Rachel shared and based on what I'm just sharing now, what would my posture look like if I wasn't in my power and I was ungrounded?
Collapsed.
Hunchback.
Yeah. Do you want to stand up and show me? Is that okay? Anyone want to stand up and give me a bit of a demo? Yeah.
I think, well, maybe like, yeah, no, just not chest out and like staunch kind of thing.
Right on the money.
Yeah.
And that was the thing, my chest was sunk. So instead of being nice and upright like I am now, my chest was sunk like that. But at the same time, like Rachel touched on, my pelvis was, I had such a lordosis, a hyperlordosis here, and my posture was shut down here, plus I had a scoliosis. And I always remember, it felt like I was always standing on my toes. Like I always got massive cramps up the shins, because my pelvis was giving my power away massively, and that used to appear as a co-creation in relationships. I just let the women walk all over me. So it comes back to when your soul popped into the little fetus, you're conditioned from then. And then you've got family ecology. So 7 generations back. So you've got your parents, your parents' parents, your parents' parents' parents, and so on. And so we call it the primary promise. So when the little baby's born, you're this sort of, well, semi-infinite being, because you've got condition in your mother's womb, but you're this infinite being and this source energy. So when you come out, you see all this pain and suffering, and you decide, you know what, I'm going to save you, I'm going to take on board everything, you know, you're my mother, I want to save you. So you take on board all that pain and suffering. And it's just one way how things are passed down through the generations. So what have we got so far? We've got stuff from when you're in your mother's womb, we've got family ecology, and we've got past life stuff. And all this stuff you're bringing through, and you're acting out. You know, I don't know, some of you might be here going, Jamie's fucking loopy and I don't believe in past lives and that sort of crock shit, and that's okay. I'm just sharing from my personal experiences over the last 20 years. Is that cool? Mm-hmm. Sorry.
That's very cool.
That's cool. That's cool. Not cool as in cool, but cool as in is it okay?
It's okay.
I'll use cool.
So does that mean that Christians are right when they say we're born sinful? Is that what they're getting? Is that what they're tapping into?
Possibly. Possibly.
I thought that was always a crock of shit, but now I'm starting to maybe that's point.
Yeah. Oh, you know, we won't really get into religion and stuff like that. Like I'd like to, but that's another workshop. So yes, we've got all these multiple things that we're bringing in. We've got past lives, we've got this life stuff that we've got, you know, the family ecology, and so our body's like a library of energy and emotion, all these experiences that we've had. And so when we're ungrounded and the energy's not flowing through us, and we're on the phone and we're, what Rachel mentioned, we're thinking a lot. So where's our energy going to be in our body? in our head. That's right. Because it's not flowing. And that's what I was going to tap into. So the posture. So how do you think my breathing would have been with a posture like this? Short and shallow.
Swallow.
That's right. So what do you feel my ability to take in life would be?
Very small.
Very small. And to be present. I was always looking at the past window. Jamie, pay attention. I fucking couldn't. Because my energy was up in my body, because when I was little, my mum didn't feel safe, so I got the schizoid wound. So all the training and all the steroids I took years ago, my upper body got massive and my legs were little skinny things. They just, because the energy wouldn't get down, because I had a split in my sacral chakra. Prevented the energy flow going down. So I couldn't be present. So it's funny, you know, you teach what you need most. So what do I teach? Grounding. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good way.
You know, so this is the thing. So there's all these multiple things going on at the same time that we really need to look after. It's very important. Very important. And I've got an engineering background, so I left high school at the end of year 12 and went and worked at Qantas for 9 years. So I really love that actually, because it taught me to look at a structure, because we're a structure, and to look for the imbalances and weaknesses, and then to look at the other parts of that structure that are causing that to be imbalanced and weak. Because the imbalanced or weak aspect of the body doesn't necessarily mean that that's the cause. There's other things coming into play causing that. So that's why you need to look at everything. Holistically. Now, how do we spell holistically? Excellent. W-H-O-L-I. Holistic, because it's the whole being that we're looking at. Why would it be spelled?
So the whole.
It's not about the fucking Bible. Fuck! Like, seriously. Who knows a bit about numerology? Okay. Vibration. Everything's vibration, okay? Numbers have a vibration. Letters have a vibration. Words, names have a vibration. You walk into a home and you go, oh, it sucks in here. You walk into another place you want to rent, you go, wow, this is my place. Everything's vibration. There's nothing holy about holistic. I get shits when I say that. Well, I don't get shits, but it's a bit of a peeve, because there's all these people out there that don't understand the true meaning of what holistic is. So really, to be truly holistic, we've got to look after the 5 elements. We've got to look after us, you, us, me, because we're all a reflection, physically, energetically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. You don't want to just go to the gym and smash yourself to try and build muscle and to lose fat, because we're breathing polluted air, the tap water's fucking polluted, and the whole food chain's corrupt. So why go to the gym and smash yourself when you really need a proper nutrition and cleansing program to strip the nutrients, and you just drop the fat? And then we've got a clean slate to look at, to go deeper into energetically and emotionally other shit that's going on, and then we deal with that. We're all nutrient deficient. I was hardcore raw vegan for 3 years and travelled around Australia doing raw food demonstrations, and I thought I was like pretty switched on and educated, and I was, but there was still heaps of stuff I didn't know. So I went and did some therapy and got over it and beat the stick on the foam cube and became a vegetarian. But alright, so what we need to do is we need to look holistically at our being. So you just don't want to smash yourself in the gym. So all the years when I was training, because I was getting bullied and picked on, so I went and did boxing and weightlifting so I could fight back and punch their heads in. I used to have 15 guys when I was in primary school wait for me around the corner of the school when my house was a block away to beat me up. So I had to do something. So I went to the gym and smashed myself in the gym. And I took heaps of protein powders, and back then it was don't get huge, get massive. And it was all this like, it was, and I had a picture of some guy like this on the, and it came in a big tin and with a wire like paint tin handle, and I was that skinny it was like, cut my hand on the way home. But this is the thing, I took all these products and did all these things to change my physical body, but I had no idea about energy and chakras and meridians and all that sort of stuff. I had no idea about family, ecology or anything like that. I had no idea about all the emotional stuff that I carried in my body. The only thing I knew about emotions is that I was fucking angry all the time, so I got picked on and bullied, and I was too shit scared to do anything about it, and I didn't know what to do. So here I am doing all the physical, doing, and nothing really was changing. And then I started getting all the injuries because my posture was so out of whack. Because of all the emotional stuff that I was holding on to unconsciously. I had no idea. And that's basically how I got into doing all this sort of work. It was just like, it was all about me. I kept getting these injuries and I started wanting to know why. And when I kept asking why this and why that and looking at my body and looking at this, it led me deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into where I am now. Started off as a personal trainer, got into energetic healing and massage at the same time. So as I was training clients, I was like, wow, I can't just train them. I need to be able to do their healing work and their breath work and their chakra work and release all this stuff that's holding them in these patterns. But then I've got to learn massage so I can do the body work and the chakra work at the same time to release what's holding them there, then do the massage and then train them and correct everything. And then, oh my God, I've got to get into this nutrition. Like we've got to look at this holistically. Because if we don't, you're just running around with your head up your ass, which most of us are, but that's not our fault because that's the way the system's designed. To keep you in the dark, so you feel nice and warm and cozy, which you probably would if your head was up your ass. No, seriously. No, I'm not going to get into any sort of like control system. Like, it's just the system's designed to keep you sick and dumb. So you're a slave, a good little slave, you go to work, you earn your money, and then you die in a box and you've probably left your mortgage to your wife that you haven't paid off because you worked your ass off for 40 years. We did not come here to experience that. That is bullshit. That is the system. I want to help each and every one of you and your partners and your friends and your family break free from the what? System. The what? System. Who wants to break free from the system? Fuck, I do! Come on, who wants to manifest your dreams and your desires? Yeah. You're not going to get it working 9 to fucking 5 with your head up your ass without looking at yourself holistically. And I'm just having some fun with you because you're having fun, you learn, your energy's open. If you just sit there, this guy's fucking boring, I'm not listening to anything. But this is important stuff. This should be taught in schools. Why do you think it's not taught in schools?
It's part of the system.
That's right. That's school's part of the system. Don't send your kids to school, it's going to fucking dumb them down. And then have a teacher, most of them have the best interest in hand, that's loaded to the hilt with a load of shit that he's not or she's not dealing with, and there's all this like unconscious trigger, like it's a fucking nightmare. When I have kids, they're never going to school. I'm going to teach them this stuff. I'm going to teach them how to fucking manifest a nugget of gold in their hand, you know, like 2 + 2. I don't have a gold nugget. There's 2 fucking nuggets. Don't take it away. What do you got? This is the thing. We've got to look holistically at our body. And the thing is, I'm a dickhead. I love it. So what we need to do, we need to get a foundation. We need to get I hope someone's good in the editing booth. Beep, 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 beep. So we need to get a foundation though, so then we can ascend. There's nothing guru about sitting in a fucking cave and meditating for 40 years. He'll get enlightened, but what's going to happen to his physical body? Like balance. But we're never really going to achieve perfect balance. Like Rachel mentioned, there's all this moving. And in one area something will happen and that'll bring, you know, something will happen physically, you'll injure yourself, then it'll release all your emotions that you need to deal with, and then mentally be thinking all these fucked up thoughts because as the emotions release through your system, that drives negative self-talk. It's all interrelated. You can't just do one and not affect the others. One affects the whole. So why not go in and holistically look at yourself and start to implement actions, doings or states of being in the different areas. Is it making sense so far? Is Jamie funny so far? Yeah. Did you have to pay him $20 on the way in? So this is the thing. So physically, I'll just run you through what I do, okay? Take notes or whatever, and you know, you can ask me questions on Facebook later. I'd rather just flow with this, but write down the questions if you have questions come up. So physically, so I go to the gym because I love weightlifting, because I've done it for a long time. But I also do the 5 Tibetan rites. Who's heard of the 5 Tibetan rites? Okay, because they're quick and they're easy, they balance your chakras, they open your posture, they open the front of the body so you're open to receive, but they activate the back of the body to strengthen your spine. So if I walked in the room and I was going to present, and I walked in, I was like this. You'd run out the fucking door, you'd be like, what am I going to do? You know, that's not empowering. Because my posture's everything. Because the posture affects my energy that I'm radiating out. So when I come down, give Rachel a beautiful hug. She's a great hugger, guys, so get a hug away. And then I walk in, I'm like, hey. So we've got to work on your posture because it's instantly going to change the way you think and the way you feel. Because they're all connected. So I go to the gym, I love weights and have that muscle. I love to do my 5 Tibetan rites because that works on me energetically, emotionally and mentally. And it helps to keep me grounding. It's a quick way of getting me grounded. I like to use my foam roller. That was a shitty F. My foam roller. Because I can lay on that foam roller in particular positions that I do with particular breathing, and I'm grounded like that. So I take it with me when I fly everywhere. And I can do the Tibetans in my hotel room. Because it's just easy. And then when I'm here in Sydney, I go and do yoga with one of my mates, my soul brother's Marcus, because he's a guru of yoga. And that helps to keep me grounded, keeps my muscles longer, keeps my chakras open. And that way I'm flowing more energy. Grounded. So I can manifest. Okay. So, and physically, like in action, like I'll meditate. Vibration, energy, vibration. So I love doing R meditation in the morning, on meditation in the evening. Has anyone heard of Dr. Wayne Dwyer? R and on meditation. Phenomenal. Vibration. Michael Tellinger talked about it the other night. All about vibration. How they got those big stones and created the pyramids. All vibration, energy. So I do an R and on. Energetically here. Okay, so energetically what do? I do certain exercises, which is physical, but they're specifically energetic based. So I train a martial art. It's all about energy and breathing. That for me, it's a physical doing, but for me it's energetic because it grounds me. Okay, energetic. Healing. I still go and see my healer when she comes to Sydney and I just get a tune-up. But I used to go on a regular basis because I wanted my chakras to stay open more often to allow the life force to flow through, and I'd breathe and connect and release the energy and emotion. So, and then emotionally. So what would be a couple of suggestions that you would do to work on your emotional aspect? What would be a couple of things you could do to help your emotions?
Kids.
Sorry?
Play with children, they'll play in general.
Yeah. So what happens when you play with children on an inner level for yourself?
Yeah, we come to that same energy level as kids.
That's right.
Play with the inner child.
That's right. Play with the inner child. It's childlike, so we get more creative and expressive. Anything else for emotions?
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness?
How to forgive people.
Yeah. Forgive yourself.
Journaling.
Gratitude. Using your intent. Your intent can move objects. Be present.
Journaling as well.
Journaling. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so mentally. I love Tony Robbins. I don't care if you don't, I do. So mentally, for me, he represents my mental guru.
Seems like I'm going to use a G word.
You know, I don't want to use the other word like God, because that would be religious. So mentally, so I incant. Does anyone know what an incantation is from Tony Robbins, Anthony Robbins? Okay, so he walks and moves and breathes, and instead of reading an affirmation, you know, every day and every way I'm feeling stronger and stronger, every day and every way I'm feeling stronger and stronger, like, what sort of effects that going to have on me? No, fuck all. My healer Elaine used to give me affirmation after affirmation, and I'd look at it and read it and go, well, that's a fucking lie, because I didn't believe it. So if you're going to write like an affirmation, you want to incant it, but it needs to be something when you look at you, not a charge, but it sort of resonates with you. You've got to sort of believe it to begin with. So I'll incant, I'll be driving in the car, and I swear people are looking at me just going, who's this Fruit Loop? And I'll be driving along, and I'll be like, just yelling out an incantation. Like loud. I even video that shit and put it on YouTube and Facebook, you know? And I'll be driving along and be like, I now command my subconscious mind to direct me in helping. Boom, I'm there already. Because it's an anchor. I've charged my nervous system, my electrical system with that state of empowerment. I'm pumped now. I'm going to bench press someone. You know, like, I'm anchored. Because I've used mental, it's a physical doing. Anytime you move your body, unless you're going to sit there and just visualize, you know, then that's more mental, but it affects everything. So I do little bits and pieces of everything so I can keep ascending. But if we're not grounded, you're fucked. And not in 2 days in South Africa type of fucked. Boom, boom. Okay, so has everyone got a bit of an idea on the 5 elements now? Are you awake?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay, cool. Good idea. Okay, so Metaphysics 101, the infinite field of potentiality. So we're all reflections of one another. You're in a very attractive crowd tonight. Okay. So this is the thing. Okay, so what we've got here are levels of vibration. Down here we've got the earth. And up here I've just written sources in source energy. Now source energy is everywhere, but just for the sake of the diagram, we're going to say it's up here. Okay, so, and then you've got you, me, us. We've got the sun. And what I've got here is I've drawn a line in the head. Now this is just for the sake of the diagram, it's not how it actually is, but just to get you a picture. You're a bit fatter than that. Hold on, let me just draw some biceps on there as well. So here, we've got the conscious mind, and then down here, for the purpose of the diagram. What are we doing later, honey? We've got the subconscious, superconscious, whatever. Let's just use subconscious. Is that okay? Just for the sake of the diagram, we'll be here all night. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to use the power of the conscious mind and thought. We want to use the brain, which is a transmitter and receiver of frequency. We want to use that brain, so it's emitting a signal of what we want, not what we want, what we desire, okay? And we want to program our unconscious with high levels of vibration of emotion to move our body into the vibration where we create the result or the outcome of what it is that we desire. Okay? So we come back to, we come back to levels of emotion. Okay, so what would be, this is low, and this is high, or lower and higher. There's never a bad emotion. There's not even a really negative or positive emotion, because it's all energy. Emotion is just energy in motion. So what would be some lower vibrational emotions?
Depression.
Okay, so we've got guilt and, was it depression?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Anger.
Fear. Depression.
Fear's right up there.
Shame.
Fear.
Envy, lust.
Anger. No, that's a very high vibration.
Yeah,
No. No, I'm looking for a particular couple that I'm going to write here. So we've got fear, anger, guilt, depression,
Shame.
Fear.
shame. Yeah.
Way up there.
Two more.
Jealousy.
Yeah.
Just high up there.
Hopeless, and we've got jealousy as well.
Is there love somewhere?
Okay.
That's over.
So these are lower vibrations of emotion. Doesn't mean that they're not powerful. So one that would be very low, hatred. It's a very powerful energy. It's a very powerful emotion. That's like a monster truck spring that's been stuffed down over the years. Then someone gets triggered and they go and kill everyone. Because that's happened before. We've all seen on the news. because they like to just tell us all the negative shit that happens. And that's because he was triggered. Because what happens, all this lower vibrational emotion that's still powerful is vibrating somewhere in your body. And that's not coming from the penis. No.
That's definitely me.
Okay, so these emotions unconsciously, whether you like it or not, are radiating out from your body, causing a certain result or outcome, which Rachel touched on. Right or right?
Right.
Right. Okay, so what are some higher vibrational emotions?
Joy.
Joy, love, ecstasy.
Gratitude.
Ecstasy there. Gratitude. Passion. One more. Excitement. Bliss. Okay, well there's one more that I believe trumps the whole lot.
Where's joy?
It's
Joy's
there.
there.
Peace. Someone said peace.
Part of it's on there. There's another word that precedes the second word.
Unconditional love.
Yeah.
Oh, it's right off the scale.
Yay.
Unconditional love. This is the thing. So these emotions and energy are still in our system and they're vibrating out. But the little critter and the negative thought that goes on in the mind, when your body's a walking library for a gamut of emotions, when you're ungrounded and your energy's circulating in your head, listen to your head, listen to your heart, or your head will destroy you. Someone told me many moons ago. And that's right. I know, because I've practiced doing this stuff over the years and used myself as a guinea pig. When you're ungrounded and your thoughts are in your head, what do you normally get?
Chaos.
Chaos, you're ungrounded, and negative thoughts. So negative stories. You're lousy, you're not worth it, blah, blah, blah. You're an idiot, you don't know anything. Whatever it may be for you, everyone's different. And because of the whole system, unconsciously we've got a whole lot of shit that's the same. So this is the thing. A lot of the stuff that we're feeling on, say, a lower vibrational basis is because of the fucking system we've been brought up in as a slave race. Okay. So this is the thing. So your body's emitting these vibrations, causing a result. You're ungrounded and you're not flowing energy. So you've got multiple chakras that connect you to the earth grid. Multiple chakras up the top, crown and third eye and throat, thymus, thyroid, and then you've got heart, solar plexus, sacral, base, hand and foot. And you've got 13 up the spine as well. So this is the thing, source energy must ground. And you must be hydrated to flow that energy, and your chakras must be open to channel that life force. We're going to be walking around, oh man, I didn't sleep last night. Oh, no energy, I'll grab a double shot macchiato. Woo! More ungrounded, energy more in the head, you're really, really busy getting fucking nothing done.
More dehydrated.
Dehydrated, skin starts to look like shit because of dehydration, running backwards and forwards to the toilet because you're peeing, because the caffeine acts like a diuretic. It just relaxes everything. Out it comes. And then you're like, I'm thirsty. Bang down some water, more pee. And then you're like slumped in the afternoon, fuck, I need another coffee. Bang another coffee. And you're in this vicious circle. But we've got to be open, grounded, connected, hydrated to flow the energy. But the thing is, this is your vision board. And we've put the Bagua map over it. Done a little bit of feng shui to amplify the energy of the vision board. So just imagine, this is the night sky. You're projecting outward into that infinite field of potentiality, what it is that you want. So you must be grounded, you must be open, breathing to help circulate that chi, seeing and feeling what it is that you want, because the emotions anchor that here and now, and you're grounded. Energy starts to go out into that infinite field, you start to co-create experiences and manifestations to help you go in this direction. Pretty good? Good. It's a pretty simple system, but You've got to look at it holistically. Because if you leave an area out, it ain't going to work to its fullest potential. So if I go to the gym and smash myself and eat heaps of food, am I going to get a result? Yeah. I will. But if I fine-tune my being and ground and hydrate and have a vision of what I want to look like and get fucking excited about I'm going to look like that, what's going to happen to the cells in my body? They're going to start to go, oh, I can do that, yeah. Where's your motivation to go to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning? Go through the roof. Or after work. But if you're not eating the right foods and cleansing the toxins out, your cellular vibration is going to be where? A bit lower. Your cells can't vibrate at a really high frequency channeling source energy. If you're eating shitty non-organic food full of herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, insecticides, steroids, antibiotics and all sorts of other shit, drinking tap water with fluoride and chlorine and arsenic and other heavy metals, ain't gonna happen. And then you're in this like negative, self-fulfilling loop of shit. We're on the bus, going to work, working for a boss that I hate.
Driving the bus.
And then if you drive, no, you're a passenger at this stage, you're not even driving. You know, this is really important. We've got to map the 5 elements into this. We've got to get clear about what it is that we want. We've got to be grounded. We've got to be open energetically. We've got to clear up this stuff because there's a whole lot of stuff going on in our system that's not serving us. So everyone remember The Secret when it came out? Yes. Great movie. Great movie. And it's funny how it propelled a lot of those guys to fame, sort of. But it's like when listening to them for 15 years before that movie came out, they've just been around. Information's awesome, but they didn't tell you really what the key is. So lots of people would be doing what they said in The Secret, getting some sort of shift and response, but never really manifesting what it is they want. Oh, this shit doesn't work. Now, of course it works, but you just haven't dealt with any of this stuff. You've got to go in and deal with this to open up your system so you can channel more energy. Good?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm getting the sign up the back of the rope around the neck. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to talk for another minute or two and then we're going to wrap it up and we're going to get into the movement. Yeah.
Can I just ask, how does the dealing with the low energy vibrational emotions fit with what Rachel was saying about you don't have to get over it, you don't have to, it's experiencing the truth. How does that?
Great question. So this isn't coming from a place of like, I'm fucked and I need to work on myself.
Yeah.
It's about being present.
Right.
So on the watch I'm getting made, each little mark will just say now, 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 now. So it's all about being grounded and present with how we feel. Being aware of what we're co-creating in our experience. So like if we co-create experiences and we feel triggered, then that's awesome. So whether you did something to me and I feel angry, it doesn't matter because we co-created that experience. But in that experience, if we have a conscious conversation and I say I'm feeling really angry and I'm feeling it actually right here in my body, you know, we talk about it in a conscious manner and I breathe into my system of where I'm feeling that energy and emotion in my system, then you holding that space, we can talk about it. And
so that's old stuff.
I can really, this is old stuff.
You've repressed instead of actually, whereas now we just choose to experience it and embrace it.
Yeah, because it's not bad,
Yeah.
it's there to teach us something.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, I've got to deal with all this stuff I've got. Not at all. But these are sort of the fundamentals to keep us grounded so we can deal with it in a more conscious manner. Instead of someone cuts us off in traffic, we get out of the car and we punch him in the head. It's all whether he did it doesn't matter. Years ago when I had long hair and was a drug dealer and had a goatee and some guy cut me off and I nearly smashed my show car, I got out of the car, I walked up to him, I screamed my head off at him and I punched his rear vision mirror clean off his car. I did.
You didn't talk to him?
No, I screamed at him. Because he saw me and he still did it and it was a...
You should have just gone up to him and said, I'm sore right here and I'm really angry.
Consciously fucking talk to me so I can deal with my shit! You know? But now if someone cuts me off, it doesn't matter. I don't get triggered. I breathe. Or if it's a nasty cut off, I'm like, oh, Oh, wow. Okay, that's cool. There's no, you know, but in a different situation that's more to my core stuff from my childhood, it might be a big charge. It could be something completely different. It could be in a relationship with a woman, because my first love was my mother. So that's more core stuff. And so when you come together in a loving relationship and you connect your pelvis and your heart and your soul to that other being, then that's a powerful transformational process. So it's not there's anything wrong with me or there's anything wrong with her. It's just she's come to the party with her stuff, I've come to the party with my stuff. We want to be grounded and connected to one another. And so when stuff comes up, just be present with it. I've got a new lady in my life like the last month, and I've been processing like, fuck, and amazing. But we're both conscious and we're both present and grounded. And if I have something come up, then we just talk about it in a conscious manner and taking responsibility for that. So it's not there's anything wrong with me, there's nothing wrong with any of us, you know, but it's just a more conscious way of. Well, does that answer your question? Because I tend to. Awesome. All right, so I could just talk for weeks. All right, so we're going to take like just a quick 2-minute little break. If we could just stack the chairs, and we're going to take them maybe just down near the front doors where we came in on the side, and our lovely assistants are going to help us bring out the yoga mats so we can all get